everybody, welcome back to Quest Junkies and the QuestCast. I am, as always, Patch, your ever humble dungeon master. Normally I play the role of everybody else, but today I'm reprising the role as podcast host. And today we have a wonderful new guest for you, a newer face to Quest Junkies, but certainly one that you will be getting to know much, much more very, very soon. My dear friend, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Amy, otherwise known as Vesper Voices, or largely Tales Beyond.
It is thrilling and a pleasure to have you with us here today, my dear friend. Yes.
I'm sweating already.
That's good. That's good. It means that it's not just me that is sweating, so fantastic. We'll start as we
I have no doubt the glasses will have to come off at some point because they're already fogging up.
Well, I have that effect on people, I guess. I don't know. Yes. So today we are going to delve into your creative journey because as someone who is newer to Quest Junkies, the majority of our audience may not even know anything about you.
Yeah.
So today is the day
given this is the first thing we've actually recorded.
Technically. Fun fact that our Quest Junkies audience have actually heard you before, as
that's true.
There may have been a little sneak teaser of something which featured your voice.
So they know my voice,
yeah.
Which I guess isn't that surprising.
I mean, yeah, that means mission accomplished. With that being said, do tell us, what is it you do in the wider community of collaborative fantasy storytelling that we both inhabit?
Well, I like collecting projects, to be fair. So I have 7 different things. The main thing that I've got to take this off. Jesus, I can't see. Either way, the main thing is I am many roles within Tales Beyond, which is a currently fantasy, although looking to expand into various other genres, audio drama series over on YouTube and Spotify. Largely just started out as a fun little, hey, I'm going to do this thing. It's fun, it's random, why not? And then I thought, no, I'm going to continue this story. This is too fun. We've got a number of episodes on the way, which I need to chase actors and write scripts and all of that fun. And yeah, beyond that, do voice acting, especially in the the fantasy realm. That's definitely where my passions lie, I think. Ever since I was a wee lass watching Critical Role, the benefit of coming in late to that and just having 1,000 episodes, well, not that many, I think it was 40. I came in relatively early, but I had a good amount to catch up on, which is very useful for art, which I also do. As people might see at some point in the future. I like doing all sorts collecting hobbies, as it were. I've got to put my glasses back on. I can't see shit again.
This has already been the most eventful episode of QuestCast, and I'm here for it. What was it about the fantasy genre specifically that first drew you in?
That's a good question. I think there's definitely an element of escapism to it. Just being able to be and do whatever. Are we allowed to swear on this? Is that a thing?
Of course, absolutely.
Whatever the fuck you want. It's very freeing, and I think I got into the sort of fantasy things and TTRPGs and Critical Role and all of that not long before I realized I was trans. And I think part of that escapism was also exploration of who I could be, just getting outside the box that I've been put in by societal norms, bullies at school, just sort of compacting myself into who I think other people will accept, and then getting to play these games and be someone else. And it doesn't matter if you're different, because frankly that's cool and usually gives you powers of dragons or gods, and then you can kick the ass of people who would say otherwise, that it's not cool. It's just fun. It's just nice. The real world is scary and or boring, and at least in fantasy it can be scary and or fun.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes it can be boring, but in a less boring way. It's definitely escapism, I think, is probably the one thing at the top of most people's lists. I know it's certainly at the top of my list. So I came into TTRPGs at a time when I had to say goodbye to a decades-long music career because of a little thing called the pandemic.
Yeah. Old chestnut.
Yeah, 5 years it's been. God.
Yeah.
I still vividly remember the day that I made the decision as well, because fun fact, I signed onto Facebook and did a little 1 hour live stream with my guitar to play a little concert for my friends who couldn't hang out with me. As soon as I pressed stop broadcasting, I got a message from Facebook saying my broadcast had been deleted and my account was hit with a strike because of copyright issues, and if I was to do it again, my account would be permanently removed. And I was like, well, I'm no good then. Great.
We do love that.
Shortly afterwards, that's when the Question Key story began. And it was that just like, this, it doesn't, fuck what everyone thinks. I'm going to do this. Because this could be whatever I want it to be. Hell yeah.
It's like, who cares what they think?
Mm-hmm. Me,
for a long time. Until very recently.
So this is what it's like to not give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. It takes a while to get out of that box, but once you realise that people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, especially when it comes to you, it's so freeing.
Do you think that, because, your main focus is fantasy audio dramas, like we've already sort of said, but you do dabble in some tabletop role-playing games as well. Do you find that has also been like a big part of that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, because certainly, at least not until recently, in the future beyond, not in any kind of actual play capacity, but just as a casual player, and more recently DM, which has been a lot of fun but a lot of work. It is that just escapism, but then again, connection with people as well, especially in TTRPGs. You get to sit down, or at least pre-COVID, you got to sit down with a bunch of your friends, just get out your minis or anything that could possibly resemble minis. Just be different people, or be yourselves, but as a dragon. And a good way to connect across boundaries that might otherwise be up. I think when people are all out being their normal selves, they're not necessarily their normal selves, and you get to see a side of them that you don't normally see when they're trying to be someone else. Because I think inevitably, whoever you're playing in TTRPGs, it's always going to be some fraction of yourself. And I often see in the characters I play as that's like my confidence, or what I wish my confidence would be. It's just like, here's the autism. Yeah, and you just get to see reflections that you normally wouldn't see, because they normally wouldn't express those sides of themselves. And it's nice. I think it brings you close to people, which we can all do with. I think especially post-COVID. Briefly
touching on playing characters specifically, what kinds of characters are you most drawn to when you're writing, or if you're playing a tabletop role-playing game? What's the big draws for a character for you?
I don't know if there's a specific draw, either when writing or playing. To be fair, a lot of the characters that I write, either myself or one of my friends has played, a lot of them are inspired by past games, especially the main characters in the current Tales Beyond. They are all but one are my own player characters, and one is a friend of mine. I like to go for something I haven't done, something that is interesting to me or would be interesting to the story, whether that's a race class combination or a backstory. I like to just play around and see what I haven't done yet, even with things as simple as how I write the backstory. I like to play around with that in my writing styles, same as I like to play around a bit with my narration in Tales Beyond, and what the narrator is in that episode or to the character, because it's very often talking from the perspective of the character, but then you have to sort of portray that in a different way. I keep banging my setup. It's is it an inner voice? Is it a suppressed inner voice? Is it a narrator that the character is almost breaking the fourth wall with? And yeah, same with backstories for a character. Sometimes I like to write it from a first person, third person. I've played a Warforged once where his backstory was an error log, which was a bit of fun for the DM to decode, I'm sure. Yeah, I just like seeing what could be. And sometimes it doesn't work. And that's fine. So just try something out, play a character for 2 episodes and go, nah, this sucks. Kill them off.
Sometimes that works better, yeah. I've definitely had that as well. I can think of a few characters that I've played before where I've had a plan for them, and very, very quickly it becomes apparent that plan is null and void. But I'm the kind of person where I will persist, and I'm I made my bed, now I'm going to lie in it. So, yeah, This is a level 1 to 20 campaign. I already hate my character in the second session, but it's my character. Let's go with it.
Turn him into a martyr. Bring the party together.
Yes, possibly. And kind of like with that in mind as well, like, do you ever find that your characters evolve in ways you maybe didn't expect?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, I mean that's a part of the game, I think, or part of the fun of the game a lot of the time. I think like one that sticks to memory the most, one of my dearest to my heart characters, my little wizard gal Sasha, who current upcoming episode of Tales is all about. It's she's near and dear to my heart. Originally started off very different. She was an artificer. She was going to be pure artificer, and kind of a short female autistic Indiana Jones type. Had like a little like origami crane familiar, as it was like a Manifest Mind, the old artificer subclass. I forget what it was since become a wizard subclass anyway, which is a bit shocking. But then yeah, she was curious. She wanted to investigate things, and we encountered this weird like fiendish cult, defeated one of the enemies, and they dropped a spell book. I was like, I can't read this, but I want to. And so she spent some time with it, and the next level she took wizard and started being able to read the spell book and went, this is good, I can use this. By which time they were flung and trapped in the Shadowfell and had to scramble tooth and nail to survive, and she was like, I need this. And every level since became wizard.
This is the way. And not to quote The Mandalorian, but this is the way. As someone who will always advocate for wizard being the best class, that is, 100%.
I can't handle not being a spellcaster now. Like, I went so deep with wizard, and then it was just like, I'm going to try barbarian. I hit the thing.
Used to be quite fearful of martial classes, and I've not played every class. Like, I love monks. Monks are my second favorite class, which kind of goes against that sort of initial idea of being fearful of like martial classes. I really do want to try a fighter at some point, but when it comes to creating a new character, I have to try so hard to resist playing a wizard because I'm so comfortable with it, and I always have 1,000 ideas for how to play a different kind of wizard.
I really snoozed on fighter for a long time. I was just like, yeah, you can hit things, and compared to other martial classes, as you level up, you can hit things more, and that's all cool. And I'll say I especially snoozed on Battlemaster. I thought it's like, okay, so you can do some interesting things when you hit, and that's it. I didn't really think it was that impressive until EXU, till Critical Role and Aurum and all of that, and just watching that guy just kick ass, take names. I was like, okay. No, I was wrong. This shit's dope.
I have a backup character locked in for whenever the next time is that I need one, who is a Battlemaster fighter, and that would be my first time playing a fighter. So exciting. I'm looking forward to eventually being able to use that character, because that will be terrifying but also really fun, I imagine. So what do you love the most about creating audio dramas specifically? It's something I've tried to do, and I don't know if I'm just too much of a perfectionist, but I can never complete a like first draft of something. I'm forever amending stuff from, by the time we get 6 months down the line, none of the original thing remains. And I just think, well, maybe this isn't for me.
It's difficult to pinpoint these things. Like, a lot of it is just being able to create something with other people, much like an actual play. Like, you're already doing a lot of the work that goes into an audio drama, really. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy casting. That's something that I didn't expect to sort of find out. It's really enjoyable just getting all these auditions and seeing all of the talent that's available. Talent that I wish furiously I had more money to just throw at them, because they deserve the world. And I'm very lucky to have worked with a lot of them and sort of building relationships that way. And it's just being able to put it all together, construct this scene that is otherwise just in my brain, and go, okay, I don't have the visuals, so what does it sound like? Or like, what does it look like? How can I describe it? And just being able to weave together this narrative and build up the background. It's just like, yes, the birds are singing, but I could say that, or I could have actual birds singing and support that storytelling that way, rather than just reading a book to someone, essentially. And also, as a voice actor as well, it's been great to just be able to create roles for myself. That was part of the reason I started as well, as because, you know, I'm trying to make a start as a voice actor, going on like Casting Call Club and stuff. Not getting many roles, so it's just like, fuck it, I'll write something for myself. And then I did, and turned it into sort of like a little present for me, a little present for the DM of the campaign that I played the character in Faye, which was the first episode. Yeah, then it was just a whole lot of fun putting it together. I was like, let's keep that going, because that's fantastic.
Would you say that, say I wanted to get into making audio dramas, would you say that the skill set of creating like TTRPG actual plays like we do benefits that greatly? Because as I mentioned before, like when I've tried to do it before, I've gone in with the mindset of like, it's just like what we do, apart from it's less improvised and more scripted. And then immediately like hit roadblocks that I didn't expect. And like, because I'm at a point where like I really want to do it, but I keep finding ways where I feel like, actually, I don't think I know what I'm doing.
I mean, that's been part of the fun for me, to be honest. It's like, there's definitely a lot of skills that would translate from that sphere. Just like a knowledge of editing and stuff. Something that I had none of when I started. I'd never edited video, audio, anything like that. It was all very new to me, and I taught myself as I went with the first episode, something that you can very much hear when you compare it to the current one. Like, it was very good for having had no experience, but there's been a very clear arc of improvement since then, which is also quite nice to see. I think, yeah, you kind of just have to go for it with the assumption that it might not be great. It's like, just like, do it for fun to start off with. Pick something like a story that you know very deeply, like from a campaign that you've been in, like a character that's been close to your heart, something that has passion behind it. And that very much can act as the driving force, where general like motivation to do a task might not be present because you keep like bumping into things and, oh, that's not quite good. And, oh, I don't think I've done quite well at that. But it's like, no, but this is a cool story. I'm going to keep going with it. And yeah, you pick up things here and there. To this day, I have no idea what the functional difference is between an MP3 and a WAV file. And so many actors like message me, it's just like, hey, what format do you want for this? Like, I don't know. Is it audible? Can I hear it? That's all that matters.
Anything that's not a cassette is probably fine.
Yeah. I guess a question for you, like, what are an example of the roadblocks that you come up against when you try these things?
I think the main thing for me is being a GM for the last 5 years and doing frequent sessions as we have. Like, someone pointed out like 6 months ago that we had sailed past the point where I think they'd figured out you could watch all of our content back to back, and it would take longer than watching one piece from start to finish 1.5 times.
Oof.
Which made me realize, oh, we've been busy.
Wow.
But
well,
like,
I guess it's 5 years, isn't it? Or this is the 5th year.
This is the 5th year now. But like, I think with all that, part of me has grown like a dependence on the collaborative side of the storytelling that we do, and having the other people at the table. Whereas I feel like for audio dramas, like, it is more like writing a novel in a sense that it, like, as the writer, I'm writing everything, and then other people are embodying the story. And like, because I know we've had talked about casting stuff before, and like, I have ideas for how I want to portray this character, but I have to be like, it's not me portraying the character. This person's portraying it, and I have to respect that. Like, they have some amazing ideas. It might not match what's in my head, but it might be better. And they're the kind of roadblocks that I put myself.
Yeah, it is sometimes difficult for me, like casting a character that I know very much how they sound, how they act. When you know a character that well, because either you've played them or been them in some way or shape or form, it gets a lot harder to break that character out of the mold in your mind, because it's like, well, I know what they sound like, and that's not it. So you don't sound like them. You're wrong for the part. Sometimes I allow myself to just go with the interpretation. Sometimes I do want to stick to someone who is a lot closer to how I hear the character. And that usually means extending the deadlines until someone auditions who's a bit closer, or like adding, one of the things I like about Casting Call Club and stuff is even when the casting is running, you can still go in and edit, and I'll like put a notice and say, hey, I've changed some things, feel free to have another go, and just sort of add additional notes as like, this is the direction I want to go with the character, and hope that people pick up on that. It can be difficult, it very much is, but I've been very lucky to sort of find people who are quite close to that. But at the same time, also, not every actor is able to like stick around for repeated things. So you might end up recasting the character anyway and finding someone who then fits that vision. So I think, yeah, there is an element of needing to be a bit flexible, but then also not too flexible, which I've also found to be an issue, because when you're too flexible, then the deadlines and stuff that you have to set for yourself and the actors can tend to fray. It's like, I like to be flexible and sort of say, it's like, I want to try and get this done by this time, but if for some reason life gets lifey, just reach out, let me know, tell me when works for you. But you do also get some people who kind of take the mick, and some people who life just continues to kick. And yeah, it's just a case of learning what works for you, what works for other people, see if you can find both.
Well, perhaps you and I need to have more discussions on that, because it is something I do want to do, and it is something that I have ideas for, and I know we've already talked about some of those ideas. More on that in the future. But,
spoilers.
Yeah. So, what does storytelling mean to you?
Well, I think other than recounting what's already been said about the escapism, the fun of a fantasy story and stuff, and also like just being able to connect with people, I very much like just being able to carry a spirit of something or someone, be it an author or an idea. It's something that was very much like in history, like historical cultures, like oral tradition. The whole point is you are passing a torch to someone in telling a story. Even if the story itself, it doesn't necessarily have to have all of the complexity and meaning behind it. It's simply the act of sharing the story, bringing people together around a fire, around a bed, around a screen. Yeah, bringing people together and just sharing in not even necessarily mattering what.
Are there any particular books, shows, games, authors, any other like specific mediums that have influenced your storytelling?
Well, I'm sure all sorts. Much like collecting hobbies, I flit around all sorts of things. So it's like when people ask what my favorite genre of music is, it's like, I just like music, man. And it's just like, I'll just find a song and listen to it for 7 hours on loop. Yeah, I definitely just like on a day-to-day basis, I'll find something that just, sparks inspiration. And it's like, oh, I could write something like that. And then there are like games and shows that stick with you for years and years, be it good old Onimusha. That shit was my childhood, along with Klonoa, two probably very obscure games for most people. Most recent, I've had some sparks of inspiration for upcoming episodes of Tales Beyond, actually, from aspects of One Division and The Good Place, which I'm going to try playing with. Both fantastic pieces of writing, especially The Good Place. So I was rewatching that recently, and it's just so well written. I find inspiration in everything with little rhyme or reason, but especially just good pieces of writing. Like Hunger Games as well. Oh my God. I haven't read it myself, but my partner's been reading Sunrise on the Reaping, the latest book, and giving me the highlights, and oh my God. My heart breaks, puts back together, breaks again, and then we rewatched the films and it broke again. It's things like that that makes me want to write more, to just come close to attaining that level of quality and ingenuity and creativity. Because when you make something that brilliant, it just evokes something in your soul. I want so much to be able to do that for someone else. To create something, even if I made something that I didn't like it much, no one else did. If there was one person who read or listened to that and it just changed them, that would be it. I could die happy.
Yeah, I've always said that myself. Like, all the people that inspired me to really push QJ to be what it is now and what it will be in the future. Like, if I could just inspire one person to be like, oh, I could do that. I think I might do that. And just give it a try. Like, yeah, that's it. That's top of my bucket list.
I mean, to be honest, that's part of why I'm here.
That is amazing. It always, it's very humbling. I mean, they call me the ever humble DM, but it is very humbling to see
the ever humbled DM.
Yes. Yeah, I need to change my social tag.
I mean, I was one of many who appeared out of the blue, out of the woodworks.
Yeah, we actually talked about that in one of the other episodes for this season, just how, like, you know, I just put out an innocent TikTok to say, hey, we're looking to add some new faces. And it went viral, because of course it did. And in the space of a week and a half, I think we had 200, nearly 300 new members,
Something
all
like
eagerly hungry for a space at the table. And, you know, like, I went from thinking we've just announced 34 new projects for 2025. It's probably too many, to thinking we need more projects. Oh my god, how are we don't have enough? What do we do?
Because for me, it's like I was literally like tired as shit from a day on my own at that particular night. My partner had gone off visiting family, just in bed, ready to pass out, doom scrolling through TikTok, saw the thing, thought, this seems cool. I know it, like, again, it just, something was evoked. So I just threw myself out of bed, went back down, turned my PC back on, and started doing some networking. Hopped into the Discord and went, oh.
And here we are.
Here we are, already involved in a number of projects.
Indeed, yes. Spoilers. All right, I think this is the perfect time to introduce the new section for Season 2. We have a lightning round of questions. So I'm going to give you a series of questions. I might not ask all of them. We'll see. Just give me the first answer that comes to mind.
But that's usually the most chaotic one.
This is why it is the lightning round. Okay. Do you have a favorite vocal warm-up, or are you just a gremlin who wings it?
I try to do vocal warm-ups. I think the best I get out is the classic testing, 1, 2, 3.
But that usually, very well.
Thank you. I've got some practice, but usually I'll just chug some water. It's not like a vocal warm-up, but I forget what it's called. It's like some Chinese syrup stuff, like Pei Pa Koa or something. That's quite good for like just throat stuff. I had a couple of VAs like swear by it and stuff, so I'll just get a spoonful of that and just back of the throat, chug some water, awkwardly clamber in to, because like my recording booth, this is the top of the door. It's an understair cupboard. Yeah, switch everything on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. And then I'll just go for it. I
don't really have a warm-up. Like, I think if I ever do warm-up, I try to do it like embodying the character that I'm about to play. So it'll be specific to them. But if I ever need to do like a more generic thing, I don't know why, but my brain always sends me to the announcements that you always hear when you're on a train here in the UK. And I don't know if it's the same guy
ones that are completely inaudible.
Yeah. Well, no. Because I don't know, like, because I know in different train companies in different places, they have different voices, but like the one that I hear the most is the one that we have up here. And it is literally, the next train to arrive at platform 1 is the 1604 Northern service to Leeds.
I know though, it's like, this is a Southeastern service to London Victoria, calling at Maidstone, Barming, Borough Green and Rootham, Otford, Swanley, and London Victoria.
We're in the wrong jobs. We should be doing that. They should be paying us to do it. What are we doing?
Or there's also the classic, cashier number 4, please.
God, that was too good. That was scarily good.
Yeah, I've been doing that since I was like 7.
I'm glad it's not just me. I'm learning a lot about myself from talking to you.
Echolalia. That's a new spicy thing. Echolalia.
Our house is just 90% echolalia all day, every day. Me and my partner, and to some
ours
extent,
has devolved a bit. We don't even like quote like lines from shows or anything. We'll just go around, like enter a room, just go rare.
Yeah, noises.
And that's it.
No, we do the same thing. It's not just me.
It's not just you.
Okay. Excellent first answer.
First lightning round.
First lightning round. Hit like lightning. Next one. Dice Goblin or Dice Minimalist?
Dice Goblin. Absolutely. I need to get more, but that involves money or stealing, but usually money.
Money is useful for buying goods and services.
Yeah, absolutely. Dice. I love dice. The shiny click-clack rocks. You can't get enough of them.
Absolutely.
It's like you only need one, but the rest are pretty to look at.
Yes. Favorite line you've ever written or delivered?
I can't remember it off the top of my head because the speed at which I write Tales Beyond, it is months of production and then months of waiting until I have the energy to start another one. I really like one of the things I wrote for Nameless, which is the second episode. It's actually a pair of lines from the start and the end when Lilac, although they don't have a name to begin with, first enters into like the material plane as a fae and just sees joyfully like the chaos, but the mundane chaos of the natural world, and everyone just like walking around, busy but empty, hustling and bustling, going from nothing to something useless. And then at the end, having like gone through their journey and found love and identity, it's the same line, it's the same pattern as like hustling and bustling, going through things, but it's not empty anymore. They see the purpose behind a lot of these things that they just saw, the funny little ape humans running around doing nothing important. What's the point? Why are you working jobs? The point is to have fun, and just being able to have that mirror between episode 1 and episode 7. I think it's 7. I write so many things.
Next question. What's your real life dump stat?
I gotta say, I feel like I've respect since being on HRT. I don't know what it would have been before, but my current dump stat is definitely strength. That's something that's definitely gotten worse since possibly Constitution. I don't know, I feel like I'm fairly hardy, but
mine's definitely Constitution, without a shadow of a doubt. Especially as the summer rolls in and hay fever season starts, I'm going to be on death saves for at least 3 months.
Yeah, I think the fact that I now have to get my partner to open jars for me is probably an indicator that strength is my dump stat. They're just too tricky.
Who needs strength, really? I like this question. If your writing style, or let's say your directing style, was a movie genre, what would it be?
I'm hesitant to go for like the obvious like high fantasy because of course, but I'm looking right at the stuff. I really don't know. I hope ever evolving. I think I'd like my writing style to be one of those directors who just cannot make up their mind on what they want to write. Like I like to go from action to then like a closed room mystery to maybe
like a season of Black Mirror.
Yeah, something like that.
What kind of magic item do you personally deserve in real life? Yeah, what do you think you've earned? Like, you have the right to have this magical item.
So many to choose from. I go for a wand of wonder thing. It's like, I like just being able to spread a little chaos here and there.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. Do something unpredictable now and then. I need more of that in my life, and so do other people, whether they admit it or not, or actually want it or not.
Absolutely.
Chaos.
What's a fantasy trope that you will never stop loving, no matter how many times it's overused, no matter how many times people tell you it's overdone?
I'm always partial to a classic Deus Ex Machina. It's just everything is terrible, it's all going wrong. Look, there's that guy that we thought was dead, and he's about to save the day somehow. It's like, how did you survive? I just believed in my friends. No, really, how did you survive? It's like, you blew up. I still have your arm. How are you?
Love it.
And then, it was fine. Yeah. I love to make fun of it, I think, is part of why I like it. But it's good. You got to have a Deus Ex Machina in there.
Sure, I agree with you there. Last question of the lightning round. If you'd be so kind, please finish this sentence. The best fantasy stories always have a little bit of blank.
Not giving a fuck.
Perfect. No notes. 10 out of 10. Best answer.
If you want to be true to yourself and your audience, don't give a fuck. Just go for it.
You heard it here first, folks. All right, just a few more questions before we wrap up for today. So, what are you most excited about in your current projects or anything upcoming?
I'm obviously excited for the future of Tales Beyond and upcoming episodes. I've got some fun ones planned when I actually get around to writing more scripts. But recently, the art spirits have been with me rather than the writing spirits. And I'm very, very excited for a certain book to come out, or at least be teased a little bit more. There's already some good stuff in there, and I'm having a lot of fun creating for that. I don't want to say much more, and that's on you.
Well, from the time from recording this to the time it goes out, a little bit of time will have passed. We might have announced a couple of things. We might have teased a few things. I mean, I'm certainly excited for the thing we've already teased, which involved your voiceover, involving a particular...
I'm obviously excited for that as well.
Yeah.
Again, there's too many things to pick from.
There is.
The answer is yes. I'm excited for yes.
This is my problem.
Yeah.
What do you hope that our audience watching this today take away from the stories that you've shared today, the messages that you've shared today?
I think just finding the ability, I don't want to say like strength or courage to be your true self, because, even if you've not necessarily done that, doesn't mean you aren't strong or courageous. I think, life is difficult. A lot of people are shitty, and just gotta realize that the shitty people don't matter, because they will always be shitty, and their lives will thus be shitty. So just don't pay them any mind, and hopefully your life will be a bit less shitty without those shitheads there, and just be you. No matter how anxious or scared you are about things, I was terrified of doing this, the first time I've ever done anything like this. But I'm here, and afterwards I will more than likely just be eating so much ice cream to balance it out. It's like, do something scary, and then do 7 comforting things afterwards.
Specifically
be
7,
you.
That is the number.
Be you with a tub of Ben & Jerry's.
Yes.
That's it.
Hi, I am Patch Kelly of QuestJunkies, and I endorse this message. Well, thank you so much. The last question is always the most important. Where can our wonderful audience support you and all your creative endeavors?
I'm not particularly active on social media, but I'm Vesper Voices or Vesper Voices UK or some variation upon on most things that I am slightly active on. The main thing is Tales Beyond. That is my channel on YouTube, also on Spotify for people who just like to have things in on the background. Yeah, any support would be fantastic. It is a passion project of mine that's dear to my heart. I will do it regardless, but I like being able to share it with people. Can go have a listen, and hopefully you'll also be able to find me here in the future to come. Yeah, Tales Beyond.
Hell.
Plug.
Plugged in. Well, thank you so much for taking part in the QuestCast. I'm so thrilled you could join us. Please do go and support Tales Beyond and all the other amazing creative things happening at the moment. I hope you enjoyed today's session. All the links down below for all of Amy's wonderful things can be found, as well as the usual links for QuestJunkies.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, I'm always hesitant about doing the don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Smash that notification button.
It's part of the job. Forgive us.
Yeah, but I don't like doing it. So yeah. I suppose subscribe or don't. I don't know. Do what you want. But more than anything, do enjoy yourself today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for taking some time out to watch us. All the love to you at home. And if there's anything else left to say, keep questing, QJs. Goodbye.